friends.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Glad We Talked podcast. I'm Tori.
I'm Chanel, and we just had like an hour of technical difficulties.
I think Mercury's in retrograde because that's usually a symptom of
Yeah,
or a sign of Mercury in retrograde because not only were we going back and forth and it just was not acknowledging that you existed,
it was
but
being very rude to me. I
yeah,
felt.
Wi-Fi wasn't working. I had to
Yeah.
update my computer.
Then all we did was restart, and it worked. That's what they
Yeah,
always say. Did you restart your computer?
hard restart. We went to the last thing. We're like, all right, last thing to try is doing a restart.
But on a lighter note, we have a great episode today with Alex. She is the founder and CEO of Forgotten Skincare. I met her last year and she was great to talk to. She has a great skincare line of products that do lots of things. We really get into it in the
All
episode.
all about the forgotten areas. So underarms, bikini lines.
And it was just a nice conversation. We spoke about the brand a little bit, but we also got into some other fun stuff. Obviously, mental health came up. We also talked about growing up with body hair and some other body things. So it was just a fun conversation.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to hop into puberty as we do, but I enjoyed it. It brought us all back to little Tori, little Chanel, and little Alex, and we all were kind of like in our pubescent, what is the body hair stage?
Yeah, we were like, what did we do? Like, how did we feel? It was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to see because she has a lot going on,
Hmm.
and you'll hear that in the episode. Um, but she seemed really level-headed about it all. Like she has exciting things. She's really passionate about the brand. But, at the core, Alex really comes back to who she is, why she started the brand, and that's what's most important to her.
Yeah, agreed. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the episode. It sounded like I said y'all, but I said you all.
It did. I caught it for a second and I was like,
I was like, I
all
just want
right,
to be
Texas
clear.
Hold'em. Texas Hold'em.
I just want to be clear. I've been listening to Beyonce, but I did not say y'all. Um, you all enjoy it. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Hello.
How are you?
I am coming off of a stressful day, but I'm happy to be here. I loved our breathing exercise. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, we did a breathing exercise right before. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I wish everyone did that before any Zoom.
Yeah, just a box
I
breathing.
think I'm going to start implementing that before my Zoom calls.
Yeah.
So
Requirement.
I actually have a coworker. He does a meditation before any big presentations or like group speaking things, and it really just brings the vibe where it needs to be. So everyone just feels relaxed and ready to
Yeah,
engage and take in information. And this was the first time we did a breathing exercise. It was
I loved
fun.
it. I feel
Great.
relaxed.
Love it. So Alex,
Yes.
I met you last July at
Oh, yeah.
Cosmoprof. It's like a big beauty trade show. We were right next to each other for like 3 days, and then the last day, we went out together like the night before, and then the next day
Mhm.
we saw each other at our booths and we chatted. And you were telling me about your product, and I was like instantly obsessed. So I love your story. Why don't you just tell everyone a little bit about your background and like why you started the brand, and just give everyone a little bit of a glimpse into who you are?
Yeah, sure. Wow, I forgot that's where we met, by the way.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
really?
that. That was, yeah, no, I knew
That's
that's,
so
but like I
funny.
wasn't thinking about it in this moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. Yeah, you watched the whole thing. You probably have heard this pitch a million times. I think I probably said it 1,000 times. But yeah, I'm Alex Pottash, the founder and CEO of Forgotten Skincare, and we make skincare for your forgotten areas. And our hero product is this guy right here, the original Underarm Brightening Deodorant Cream. And I started this company in 2020. And before that, I was working in pharmaceutical advertising and I was doing search engine marketing specifically. So
Oh,
I was looking
interesting.
at search data and trying to find out what questions people had and how I could help answer those questions on behalf of pharmaceutical companies.
Is that how
So
you found out? I'm going to jump the gun. You're probably going to
go
get
for
to
it.
it, but like I'm already like, oh, I have to ask.
Mhm.
Is that how you found that there was this underserved area or because people were searching for what do I do for my underarms,
My dark
brightening, yeah,
underarms or
darkness, like
yeah.
all those
Exactly.
keywords.
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to start my own company. I come from a family of entrepreneurs and I just feel like it's inside of me. And so I went to the search data to uncover white space. Exactly. So I could find what people were searching for. And then I ended up finding that there were hundreds of thousands of searches a month for dark underarm related terms. But when you go to search for it, there was nothing out there that met consumer standards, which you guys know it's vegan, cruelty free, and free from harsh synthetic ingredients. And specifically, one ingredient kept popping up. And after speaking with dermatologists, kind of figured out that it was a very often prescribed ingredient or really chemical. And it's called hydroquinone. And not a lot of people have heard of it, but this is prescribed for hyperpigmentation, but you can't use it for more than 3 months at a time. Because if you use it for more than 3 months, it can cause damage that's permanent to your skin. And it's especially important for people who have more melanin in their skin to not use this long term, because it can actually cause bleaching. And if you have more melanin, it can even change your skin to like a bluish tone. So I wanted to find a more natural and safe alternative. And so that's how I came to researching different natural ingredients. And I found uva ursi extract, which is one of the active ingredients in our formula today.
Cool. Yeah. I love that you took your current position and you like had this buzz inside you that you were like, I know I want to do something of my own. And what is it? And you used the skills you had at your current job to get you into that next level. You weren't like, how am I going to get there? You're like, okay, let me see what I can do to get me into what I want to be doing and what I think I should be doing. That's so inspirational. And like, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I was working with so many other companies, because in like what I was doing at an agency it wasn't just even pharmaceutical companies. It was healthcare specific, but I also got to work with like littler companies like, Hue Chocolate, the chocolate brand.
Yes.
I love their chocolate. I actually worked on their account for a little bit. So it wasn't all healthcare and pharmaceutical, but I got to see the inner workings of how companies ran and work with other entrepreneurs directly. And so I was becoming micro experts in all these different areas. And so that kind of inspired me to be like, okay, I think I can become an expert in something and try to do this for myself and ultimately help other people in the process.
Wow. So how long has it been now since you started this forgotten skincare journey, and like how has it been since like having your own company? Like what is it? What is
4
it like?
years, right?
It's 4 years, yeah. So I actually started working on it in 2018.
Okay.
So I was working full time, and I had this idea because my mom was making she always would make different concoctions. And she took an avocado
natural
pit.
Home
natural
skincare, everything.
She's so crafty.
It's like
She's
vinegar, avocado.
Yeah. So she took avocado pits and would dry them out on the windowsill and grind them up and use it for like body scrub or face scrub.
Oh.
So that was my first idea. So it was an avocado pit. But then I knew from like my analytical background that I couldn't just create an avocado pit scrub because there's so many different body scrubs out there.
Yeah.
So I actually it was kind of just like happenstance that I put pit and pit, like your armpit, together, and was like, that's kind of how I got started into researching the underarm care space.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's the marketer in you. You're like,
pit.
Oh, double entendre there.
To be niche. Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So what does avocado pit do? Like, what does it do for your skin?
So there's no avocado pit in our products. I have avocado oil just to kind of like pay homage to that. Like, no one knows about that, really. Well, not everyone does. But I put it in there just to kind of keep that little piece in there of the formula. But avocado pit is super harsh of a physical exfoliant. So
I could
in our
imagine that.
actual body scrub that we have, we actually just have microcrystalline cellulose and pumice. So it's kind of like, remember that apricot?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the St. Ives. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like kind of feels like that walnut
Wait, I'm actually
shell.
dying because that was like the epitome of skincare when we were
Yeah.
in
It
high school.
was.
And wasn't it, like
was-
super damaging though?
Yeah, it
Like
wasn't
it's
good
like
for you.
it's harsh.
Yeah.
It's so, yeah, walnut
I used to
shells
use
are
it on my
harsh.
face. Yeah.
It's harsh.
And
I think it's better for your body, but for your
Uh-huh.
face,
Yes.
it's definitely harsh. No one
Yeah.
really uses that anymore,
Yeah.
I feel like.
So run us through the products you have. I think because
Yeah.
you have a few.
Yeah. I have a perfect handful. So I have the hero product is the original Underarm Brightening Deodorant Cream,
Okay.
which is a mouthful. So I affectionately just call it the OG. So she's really cute. I called
She's
her
cute.
a he earlier. She doesn't have pronouns.
Okay.
They.
It, this inanimate object is really cute. So the OG works to smooth, brighten, deodorize. So it's basically skincare for your underarms. But the hero action of it is really that brightening, which comes from the caprylyl salicylic acid, vitamin C, and uva ursi extract. So this is our best selling, and this is where it all started. But then when people were like, where else can I put this on my body? One of the areas that kept popping up were the inner thighs. So I ended up creating another product. It's called the Down Low Inner Thigh Serum, or for short, the DL. And that one
Cute.
also helps with dark spots on the inner thighs, ingrown hairs, and also razor burn. Helps to soothe razor burn. And then we brought Forgotten Skincare into the shower with Get It Bright, which is our body scrub. And this exfoliating body scrub is great for brightening because it has glycolic acid in it, but it also has chemical or physical exfoliant. So it has the pumice and the microcrystalline cellulose. So that helps to physically exfoliate. So it's also great for KP if you have bumps on the back of your arms, back of your legs. And people even complain about having KP on their underarm area too. So this is
KP?
a great
It's
keratosis pilaris.
they're
Oh.
like
Chicken
small.
skin.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh. I'm not the beauty person. So I'm like, what does this mean?
Chanel knows.
Yeah, KP. Okay. I have that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
there's
so common.
there's a lot of people who have it actually. Yeah, you're not alone, Tori.
I just didn't know what it. I'm gonna my KP.
You didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh, there's my
No.
KP again. It's like got a cute little name.
Yeah.
So I use the OG, and well, I just ran out, but I love it. Like
I have to send you more.
I know. Every time I talk to you, I'm like, I ran out, but I'm like, I need to order it.
Yeah.
But so you gave it to me in Cosmoprof last year, and I used it pretty much every day since, and I actually have noticed a difference in my underarms lightening. But I also like it like weirdly like for before bed, or like if I'm just like working from home and I don't want to put deodorant on, but I'm like, I need something because I can't just like free ball out here. So I just put it on because I'm like, I just need a little something so that if I sweat a little bit, I'm not like smelly. So I just love it as like an everyday. It's like lotion for your underarms. It's so moisturizing. It smells delicious. I love it. I'm such a big fan. Yeah.
I'm so happy you feel that way.
I do. I'm being so honest.
That's awesome. Yeah, I use it at night too. So.
Okay. It's like you're supposed to use like twice a day, right?
Yeah, so I only use it a few times a week, but I don't have hyperpigmentation, and I've been using it since 2018. So I feel like I don't use any other deodorant. I mean, it's all I use.
Wow.
I used to use like the super chemical, like clinical strength.
Oh yeah, I use
that's what I use.
Strength.
That's what I use.
Yeah, to stop you from sweating. Like
yeah, but that's not good for you.
Mm-mm. I mean, the research is, I don't know how substantiated it is, but
really,
yeah, I don't know. The verdict's still out there on whether aluminum is gonna cause you cancer, and but
I'm just a headline junkie. I'm like, oh, it's bad.
Yeah, but I would say, and I'm not a doctor or an esthetician, or I don't have a professional background, but I would say that I just feel more comfortable using a deodorant that doesn't clog my pores.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I think like clogging any pore is just not. It's not good.
Well, to be honest, I recently got the clinical one and I haven't been loving it because I noticed like when I shower at night, it stays like, it takes so much to get it out. Like I'm like scrubbing.
I remember that.
And
like
it's
in
like
high
not
school.
coming out.
It's like it sticks almost.
Yeah. It's like stuck on me. And I'm like, I have to like fully exfoliate my underarms. And I don't really like that. Like I want to, if I can wash it off in like a few passes, that seems normal to me. I shouldn't be like scrubbing.
if you were to ever detox from it, have you ever
Mhm.
done that before? Gone through
So-
an underarm detox?
So I tried Native and I got like a rash and I was like, oh, I'm allergic because I'm allergic to like everything. But someone told me that the bumps from natural deodorant are you detoxing from bad stuff.
Wait,
Hmm.
I
Is
don't
that,
even.
is that bad? Is
I
that
didn't even. I
I
didn't even know you
haven't
could
heard
detox
that.
your
Is that true?
underarms.
Okay,
Like,
so
let's pause. You can
Okay.
detox your underarms.
Yes. So I think when
I'm
you
like
switch,
I'm mind boggled right now because
when
I've like
you
heard detox the liver, detox your lymph nodes, but like I never thought about my underarms.
yeah, if you are using that aluminum deodorant for
yeah.
years and years, I remember going through it. When you stop using it and you just start kind of letting everything flow and be
Uh-huh.
natural, you smell pretty badly and like
Yeah.
sweat more.
And then you go
And
back, you start using it again, so you don't
Right.
detox, right?
right, but if you stop
Mm.
using it and switch to a natural deodorant, or we'll just say a deodorant that doesn't have aluminum in it,
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
like our deodorant, you can go through like a sweaty, stinky period that's you almost smell worse than you would after that phase.
That
And
makes
it kind of
sense.
You just
stinks
have
for
to
a
go.
few weeks.
You have to
Yeah.
go through the hard phase. It's like when you're transitioning to
Yeah.
curly hair again.
It's like I have oil trained my hair,
You have to awkward
Oh.
phase it.
so I don't. Yeah, I oil train my hair, so I don't wash it like every day. I wash it maybe once a week. Sometimes I get by with once every week and a half, 2 weeks. It's gross, but I've gotten to a position where like I just don't need to. And it was rough
Right.
in the beginning. It was like greasy and I wanted to wash it, but I was like,
You got to fight through.
yeah.
There's
And
like that
Yeah.
awkward phase.
I also like, I never really thought I had stinky BO or underarms, but by media, I was like, I need the clinical strength. That's like, when I was a teenager. So I used that. And then I slowly was like, I don't want to use that anymore because the aluminum story came out and we were like, scared. So now I use natural deodorant, but I don't know if people can smell me. So it's
Well,
like
just give
I
yourself
don't
a
know.
sniff and see. It's
I mean,
also
you would
like,
know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, can you smell me?
No.
You would know.
I would have told you a long time ago.
I don't know. I'm like, are my friends and my fiance being nice? Like, you
No.
stink? I don't know. But like,
Chanel would tell you.
Yeah, I would tell you.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happens after that stink? How long is that stinky smelly phase? Do you know?
It's different for everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I think it was maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a long time though.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
But I don't think I don't even remember when I transitioned off of the clinical strength stuff so long ago.
Yeah.
Like,
It was definitely like when I was in my early 20s, I was like, it was more expensive.
Okay, guys. Well,
Yeah.
I'm still using it because I'm stinky smelly.
Well, you need a
So
detox.
you.
Maybe I
Like-
need to detox.
but the thing is, you can use our product underneath of that.
That's what I do. That's
And
what I
this
do.
should help you just in general with like not having to scrub so hard and get it off, because this has salicylic acid in it, which helps to just keep the skin cycling and exfoliating.
That's like with acne and
Maybe
stuff.
that's why I noticed it
Yeah.
recently, because I ran out and now I'm just raw dogging deodorant. So maybe I need the base again.
Yeah.
So I also do not deal with hyperpigmentation, but is this product specifically for people of color, or is it for anyone that has an underarm?
Anyone that has an underarm.
Anyone that has an underarm, yeah.
Okay.
So I noticed after I put it out into the world and I could talk to my customers and kind of see who they were, I noticed that it's more people of color were interested in purchasing the product, which makes sense because they have more melanin in their skin, which means that you're more prone to hyperpigmentation. So, but like I said, I use this, I have people with like lighter skin tone, darker skin tone, it doesn't matter. You can use it long term. Like I've been using it for years. It doesn't change the color of your skin. It's only if you have a localized area of excess pigment. So
I see. So I do have a little bit of redness in one area. I don't know if that's razor. I don't know. This is so funny because we're getting into like really personal places
every
right
corner
now.
of our underarm, we're like,
Yeah.
what's happening in this section or this section?
Yeah. I'm like, I've never talked about my underarm like this ever.
Yeah.
You've never talked about your underarm?
No.
Have you new friends?
I need new friends. Like,
have you talked about your underarm with your
No.
friends, Chanel? Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
Well, that's the whole thing. People have all these issues and concerns and like questions and no one talks about it. We're all just like, oh, their underarms, they're overlooked. Oh, like
Yeah.
it's hyperpigmentation there. There's nothing I can really do about it. So
Well, that was my issue. Like, I have really dark underarms, and part of that was shaving. So I was like, I
right.
started waxing my underarms, and I was like, maybe
Ouch.
that will help. And it did a little bit, but part of me was just like, well, this is just what it's like. Like, this is just what it's like for me, and it's not going to change. I didn't even really like look into anything because I didn't even know other people suffered from the same thing. I just like assume. I'm like, every time I look at someone else's underarms, they look great. How come mine look like this? So it's just something that like you kind of feel like alone about, and you don't talk about it because you're embarrassed because you think you're the only one going through it. So it's actually really nice that there are products out there, and now your product line that helps with this, because I just feel like it was something that like I was embarrassed about and I didn't know other people went through. And like even just hearing you talking about your customers and your community, it's just like nice to not nice to hear, but it's like kind of nice to hear that other people are going through it too,
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm really happy to hear that. And thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Do you think like teenage little Chanel would have liked this
You
product?
love hearing from Little Chanel.
I do love hearing from Little Chanel is my favorite guest sometimes. Not to say anything against you, Alex, but I love when Little Chanel makes an appearance.
Let's hear.
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like I didn't deal with it as much when I was younger. And I don't know
Okay.
because if I didn't have as much hair and stuff,
Mm.
or I wasn't shaving as frequently. But I did find that it happened more in like my late teens, 20s when I
Yeah.
started noticing that my underarms were darker.
Do you feel like there's a specific cause that you've identified?
No, I think mainly it was shaving.
Shaving.
And I
Okay.
think it just is going to take a while to kind of reverse that, because it's like 10 years of shaving. And now that I'm waxing, I've been
Right.
waxing for the last couple of years,
I didn't
but
know
it's
that.
still reversing. Yeah, I wax my underarms now.
And why did you start waxing?
Because I found that, well, I think I like spoke to someone about it actually one day. I don't know if it was my doctor or like a dermatologist. I don't know. I spoke to someone and I was like, why are my underarms so dark? And they were like, it's probably shaving. So I started waxing from that point on. Even if you think about like your bikini line, if you shave a lot, you get like razor bumps.
Yeah.
And if you wax, it's just so much smoother. It's like the same thing with my underarms. Lasts long. It's like 4 weeks.
It does.
Does
Yeah.
it
I
hurt?
got laser on my
Mm-mm.
You did?
underarms.
Oh, you
Yeah. Have you
did?
ever gotten that? Mm-hmm.
No.
No, I'm
I'm
afraid.
scared.
I'm afraid
I
of
got it when it
waxing. I'm afraid of like
really of
lasers.
waxing.
I just use I'm a razor girl.
Well, I shave now, but I grew up with
Oh wait,
really thick, coarse hair.
but so
Oh,
you lasered, but you still have to shave?
yeah. So it just thinned out my hair.
Okay.
So, but I grew up with a lot of underarm problems, come to think of it. Not so much, I had like the 5 o'clock shadow all the time.
Yeah.
And I had a ton of ingrown hairs and a ton of razor burn. It was actually really upsetting, like coming from
Yeah.
little Alex now. Um,
Oh.
yeah, it was embarrassing to have that, especially like in your formative years, like 12, 13 years old, feeling,
Yeah, this
like,
conversation is really bringing up feelings for little Tori too. Like, I think
yeah,
right now we're all hitting on puberty because it's like this is when you start getting introduced to shaving and all of these
yeah,
forgotten areas because you don't have to think about it when you're a little kid. You know, you're not like
right,
arm hair, like bikini lines. It's when you go into puberty that you start to have to think about like these areas that you did forget when you were a kid or like just never
right.
noticed. So it's
Never
like,
noticed.
wow, this is cathartic.
Yeah. So back to the laser though, something that I've learned just through talking to my customers and research is that it's kind of difficult to find a good laser technician or solution
Mm,
for people that have more melanin, because the way that laser hair removal works is by identifying the contrast of the hair and the skin. So for me, I have like darker hair and lighter skin, so it worked for me. But maybe for Chanel or someone with darker melanin, it might not be able to pick up on the contrast and actually can cause burns. So some of my customers are healing from that and then have scarring and then are using this to help reverse that,
wow.
the burns that cause the hyperpigmentation. So there's many different reasons why someone may have hyperpigmentation in different areas, like underarms, like inner thighs. Could be like a hormonal imbalance. It could be just from pregnancy hormones. Like a lot of women postpartum just get stubborn hyperpigmentation, like melasma on your face, on your stomach. But underarms and inner thighs is also a very common area to experience that. So there's all these different reasons, and it's kind of hard to like collectively come together and talk about it and understand why it's happening. So it might send you to your dermatologist, who might then prescribe you hydroquinone, or, so
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I actually had no idea that laser worked that way. I remember seeing a product at work once that was like, you can't use it if you have these shades of skin tones, and it like showed like it was pretty much like one
Really?
shade below me and above,
Uh-huh.
and it was a laser type of at home kit
Or like
thing.
nude.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I
Oh.
wonder why I can't use this. And you just saying that triggered that memory for me of like, okay, well, I guess it's because it might
Right.
cause burns if that's how it works. But that's interesting. So maybe I might. I mean, I never considered laser. It's like just expensive and like looks painful. But so how did you deal with your 5 o'clock shadow when you were younger? Like,
I got
I'm
laser.
sure that was.
I did it. I was
When you
like
were
at, I
younger.
feel like I was at the forefront. Like
Oh.
Wow,
I must
you
have
were
been, like,
leading the
13.
charge.
My mom took me. Now I think I
Wow.
don't know, but I think the technology is probably so much better now.
Yeah.
And you probably can find. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a laser technician or an esthetician.
Yeah, you're
so
speaking from experience
just
and like
speaking
from
from
what your people
experience.
say. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I got it, it was so painful. It like burned your hair. So I got laser hair removal when I was like 13 or 14, I think.
Wow.
And it was like a rubber band snapping on your skin, and it was like burning, and it smelled bad from the hair burning. Yeah, I don't think it's like that anymore. I think it's probably a lot better.
I've also heard of like electrolysis, which is similar, but it like zaps the hair follicle to like
The
kill it.
follicle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be the same thing, but maybe not.
Oh, okay.
I'm not totally sure.
They just call it different things.
Lots of hair removal things out there.
Wow. So
But
when you were 13, you got laser hair removal.
yeah, it may have been, Mom, if you're listening, you can tell me I'm wrong
Tell
on
me.
that. It might have been 15.
Do you think it helped your confidence?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's good. Yeah.
I was not confident with all the razor burn and ingrown hairs I had.
Ugh,
Definitely.
that's so hard. It's like I could feel that for you, like keeping your arms down, and like the razor burn hurts too, and you're like learning how to use a razor even. Like I'm just remembering all the times I had nicked ankles and taking skin off in the shower with.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Like learning how to deal with these areas of forgotten skin and hair, it's just like traumatic.
I'm also thinking because we're all about 30s, right? We're all millennials. We grew up with like
32.
the era of like magazines, like 17 and
I'm thinking of like
YM.
Nair.
Well, yeah, but like even in those magazines, they just made it seem like hair wasn't good.
Yeah.
You needed to be like clean shaven. And like I remember asking my mom to shave at like such a young age, even though I barely had hair. Cause I'm like reading magazines that just made it seem cooler, or like you weren't cool if you had even like a little bit of stubble. And I mean, now there's women walking around with like underarm hair, leg hair, like they don't
crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I don't shave or remove
see?
everything all the time. It still doesn't feel like totally acceptable, but I definitely feel like there's been some cool brands out there, like Fur, for example. They've done a great job of making everyone feel
Uncomfortable.
safer, I guess. Wait, what are you laughing at?
I'm like, I said uncomfortable. It's like you're safer, but it's also uncomfortable because they're like accepting and they're like pushing that this should be the norm, but also it's challenging people to think about their own relationship with hair and society and how we view hair.
I think it's probably a very American thing too.
Oh, it is. Sure.
It is.
Yeah.
If you go to other countries, they're not as clean shaven as us.
Yeah.
So I think it is and I honestly think it's just like the media and how we grew up. Like, I feel like it was just ingrained in us. Like, you have to have your underarms like clean shaven. And like, that's why we have all this like freaking anxiety around it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about watching like America's Next Top Model after school in high school and seeing all like the Venus, like, I'm your Venus, I'm your goddess.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like thinking of like how they would shave and it's like the super sexy, like, oh, their legs have the muscles and it's glistening. And it's like, I need the shaving cream. And now I don't even buy shaving cream. I'm like,
what?
I know. I just use my soap.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, same. I'm like, whatever, this will do.
Do you buy shaving cream?
I do.
What do you buy?
Aveeno.
Oh.
Aveeno.
Yeah.
Like
For
the
sensitive
sh-
skin.
one?
Yeah.
The foam?
Yeah, like a one. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the brand, but mine was pink and it smelled like strawberries.
Skintimate.
Skintimate. Yeah, I used to buy the Skintimate. And it was like a
Wow,
smoothie
yeah.
situation.
Do you guys have thin hair? How are you not using shaving cream?
I just don't shave that much.
Oh.
I don't
Do you shave
know.
your bikini line?
You mentioned the bikini line before, and it's like this is
your thing.
this is my thing.
This is your thing.
What?
This is
Tell
my
us.
thing. Well, so you have the product that helps with ingrown hairs in your bikini line, yeah?
Yes, it has. So it's
You're
mainly,
like, please send it to me.
I will send it to you. It's mainly witch hazel based.
Okay.
So, and it has soothing ingredients like cucumber in it, like cooling for razor burn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it feels really good on razor burn.
I'm just so lazy with my bikini line. Like, I'm going to be honest. This is,
You
I
gotta
don't,
exfoliate.
what do I need to be doing? Tell me the routine. I'm not a good shaver.
Well,
I'm not a good
shaving
hair
cream-
maintenance.
I do think
I mean,
shaving cream on your bikini line would help. No?
It's a
I
good
just
start.
don't want to do it. I mean, I'm afraid of waxing.
No, yeah, I can't
Right.
wax. No, I can't wax
I
my bikini
know,
line.
it's a struggle. We could all
Yeah.
we could just decide now to just be hairy. I don't know.
Let's do it.
I mean, it's always a struggle, but I mean, for me, what helps is I use this, the Get It Right on my inner thighs, and it just helps so that you're not dealing with those ingrowns.
Okay.
So this helps with that. And then I use the serum when I have razor burn, and it also helps with ingrowns. So those are,
because summer's
that's
coming.
all I do for my bikini line, honestly, those two things.
Okay.
Yeah.
When
I went to Charleston in South Carolina, and we stayed on Kiowa Island, and there was a warm day, and we put our bathing suits on, and like I was like, oh no, like you know that moment in Sex and the City movie where Miranda or who was it? Was it Miranda?
Yeah, Miranda.
It was Miranda.
Yeah, Miranda
I
had
think she just had a kid or something, and then she was on vacation.
And they're like, when was the last time you got waxed? And I'm like, every time summer comes around, I think of that clip in the movie because I'm like, I haven't dealt with this all winter.
Yeah.
I have to handle it now. Summer is coming, and I'm having these thoughts like, how am I going to tackle this? Like, how am I going to bring my bikini line into a healthy and nourished state this year?
Right.
It's so crazy you brought that up because I see girls wearing the tiniest little bathing suits and thongs and like
the
Brazilian? the little tiny like string, and I'm like, do you not have razor bumps? Do you not have ingrown hair? Like, I'm so confused. It's so crazy.
Honestly, even when I wax, I still get ingrowns. It's just
same.
Wax more or shave more?
Shave, but I also got laser.
Right. Okay.
So
on your
bikini line.
Yeah, but honestly, the best routine is to make sure you're exfoliating and then using aftercare products. So
we're not doing that.
I'm not doing anything. I'm going in like with my razor, not even like my skin's probably not even like properly moisturized and like my pores are cold.
Do it at the end of your shower so your skin is more softened.
Yeah.
And the good thing about our underarm cream for your underarms, if you have issues there, is that it also, I mean, for me at least, I feel like it thins my hair or like softens my hair, not thins.
Oh, really?
It softens it. Yeah, which tends to make shaving easier.
Probably because you're like, it's new. It's like moisturizing and it's hair. Like you take care of your hair, you put conditioner in it. Like we're not doing that for our body hair.
Yeah.
So true.
This makes sense.
Okay, so me and Tori are going to promise to exfoliate and use aftercare. Because
exfoliate.
I can't be showing up with razor bumps.
I can't either. I'm getting nervous.
Yeah.
I literally I went and I was like, all right, this is all or nothing. And I'm like, just, getting ready with my little razor. Do you do anything for your eyebrows? This is also another thing. I'm like, what am I doing with my eyebrows these days? I don't know.
I mean, I'm not an esthetician, but I use castor oil on them.
Oh, you do?
To try to get them to grow.
Do you shape them? I forgot about them. So I used to go and get them waxed. You do still?
Yeah, I get them waxed.
Me too.
It's like the kids these days aren't doing anything.
I'm waxing.
No.
I wax. Old school. What do you do?
Nothing.
Oh, wow. Nothing?
My mom told me, because I was with my mom, she was like, I want to just take a tweezer to those and really get in there.
Is it because they're blonde?
Yeah.
They look fine. I would never know that you don't do
in
them.
it to
wow.
I don't do them.
No, I fill mine in a little bit, but
I do that too. I use this gel stuff that Chanel gave me and my pencil Anastasia from Beverly Hills for 2015.
Yeah.
I still have it. Like, that's what I do.
Yeah. That's always, I used to use that too.
You have great hair on your head as well.
I know. It's beautiful.
The hair on my head. I just got it cut yesterday.
It
So
looks great.
So
Thank
pretty.
you.
It looks
Thank
healthy
you.
and like flouncy.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thanks. When it comes to confidence, for me, the hair on my head, like as a physical thing, makes I care about. Like that's always, I feel like I identify with it a little bit, maybe too much. But really, if you can just harness that confidence inside and kind of give yourself a pep talk before you go into something where you're feeling insecure, I feel like that works better than anything.
Yeah.
Giving yourself a little, hey, you've got this. Everyone else is dealing kind of with the same stuff you are. Everyone's a human. We all go through struggles. We all have our body insecurities. We all have mental insecurities.
Yeah.
So I think just recognizing that you're not alone. And I noticed that we were talking a lot about like outward appearances, and I wanted to shift a little bit into some inward stuff, because I really do care deeply that everyone who is dealing with something on the outside is going through the work on themselves to try to focus more about what your body can do, and rather than what it can look like.
That's very empowering. And I think going back to kind of when we were younger, going through puberty, we were just taught that it wasn't, this is how you handle it, versus understanding how to take care of yourself. And it's like, it could seem something that's very like topical and just aesthetic and beauty related, but it is very personal, and it does lead, to insecurities and self-doubt and confidence. And so you're absolutely right. Like thinking about more so our relationship with our body in these taboo areas that we have relationships with. But I think it does have to do with our mental health and well-being as well.
Yeah. I think that with my customers, I hear a lot about how I've dealt with dark underarms my whole life. And, my mom says I need to clean them, or I haven't put on a sleeveless shirt ever. I haven't been able to wear the dress that I want to wear. And I read these things. You go on my website, I post them. I mean, people write them openly. They're their reviews. And then they say, this one product has helped me get my confidence back. Even if that's a stepping stone for someone, to start, if that's what they need to feel confident and then can move deeper, that is what drives me. Like, that is what makes me feel so passionate about Forgotten Skincare. I don't think I would ever want to be a founder of a company that was just creating a face serum. Not to knock those. I love my face serums too, but I just feel like what we're doing here takes it a step deeper into like an emotional thing. So
this is like personal for you. Like this aligns with values for you and like helping people. And that's like something it sounds like you want to do. And yeah, I mean, we are talking about like outward appearances, but I think we're also saying like when we were younger, like it was always like, oh, this quick fix and this is what you have to do and what you are supposed to do. And it's like, why do we have to do that? Why are we supposed to do any of that? And now it's like ingrained in us that we have to do all these things. And we're sitting here like, I can't wear the thong I want. I can't wear this that I want. I can't go out in the summer and just enjoy a beach day without thinking about my hair on my bikini line.
Yeah.
And it's like, it affects you so much mentally, even though it's like just one area of your body. And it's like, how can we move forward with feeling positive and confident, knowing what we were ingrained,
because there's a little bit of shame
in
to
us.
it.
Yeah, when we were
like
younger,
we should be ashamed of these areas instead of like
embracing
if we
them.
choose to take care. If it's not, I'm not even gonna say take care, because in that it sounds like you're unkempt if you aren't addressing them. Like if you aren't going with the norm of shaving, then you're dirty or unkempt. But you can very well be a clean, cleanly, put together person without shaving your underarms.
Right. I do see in the beauty industry that brands, I think, are doing a better job. Brand like a big brand like Dove, even, they're so good at calling attention to inward beauty. And I think I do see a shift towards wellness and self-care for health rather than just for appearances. And I see brands shifting in that direction. That's at the epitome of what Forgotten Skincare is already doing from the get-go. But I see, yeah. So I do see a shift happening, even the way that, buyers are buying different products. I think that a lot of these initiatives are about genuine like health for your skin. Even in some makeup we're seeing too, there's a big push of this isn't just a foundation. It also helps with rosacea, or it also,
Yes.
helps with moisturizing and flakiness. And so I think there is that dynamic that's happening.
I just went to Sephora to buy a new foundation, and I haven't bought a
Mm.
new foundation in a while because I was using one and I just felt like it was exactly what you're saying. It was more to deal with like beauty things and kind of just not do skincare. It was like, this is a foundation. I didn't question what was in it because that's what beauty was. And now I went in to buy foundation for the first time and it's like, this is hyaluronic acid in it and it does anti-aging and it's skincare with foundation and beauty. And that was a shift for me and I was happy to see it. And I felt like it's more personal and like more inclusive, especially when you walk into Sephora and see brands like Fenty that are reaching different people and addressing different needs. I think that's nice to see the industry from an outsider that isn't in it like you guys, that direction and that shift happening.
I like that perspective. That's, but I keep bringing it back to the underarm cream, but our deodorant isn't just a deodorant, it's skincare for your underarms. So it's through that lens
Yeah.
that we're marketing it, but it really does, it helps with all these different concerns that you may have. And some of them may be painful. And say you have scars left over from anything like a surgery, or you had a medical condition, there's plenty like HS, or
What
like
Jay
we were talking
says.
about earlier from the laser hair removal, and you want to get rid of those scars because it's an emotional attachment, it's an emotional thing. So it's
Yeah.
definitely deeper. It's definitely deeper than skin deep.
Hmm. Sounds like a good
Yeah,
product
I was
name.
like, wait, deeper skin.
I
Yeah, I'm
think you
like,
need
there's
to
something
do,
there.
yeah, you need to do like an alignment with like a mental health or like a women's wellness thing. This is
Oh,
your
I
next
love that
campaign, deeper than
idea.
skin.
Yeah.
Deeper than skin. There,
I feel
there it
like maybe it's
is.
Yeah,
been used before. I don't want to say I coined that. I can't,
Yeah.
that's okay.
but yeah,
We don't know. You
we
you
don't
saw
know.
the origin story right here, right now. We didn't copy it. We just came up with it. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just came up
I
with it.
mean, even like talking about mental health, like for you as like a founder, like how has your mental health
Oh,
been like starting this
yeah.
brand? And I'm sure you're doing a lot of things like, and part of it is like, you know how you want the brand to look, you know what you want it to present to the world. Like, how does that weigh on your shoulders?
It weighs sometimes. I mean, I've been doing this since 2018. I was working full
hmm
time, then I did consulting, then I took this full time in August 2019. And I love it. I cannot see myself doing anything else ever, really, but it is challenging. I do a lot of meditation. I use Insight Timer, which I had the free version, and now they make people pay for it. So I had to
Purchase.
pay for it, which
Aw.
is fine. I would pay. I want to pay for it. It's really good. So I
Yeah, we
use
always love a
Take
Insight
my
free
money.
Timer.
app.
Take my
Yeah, I'm
money.
like, take it. I think I have Headspace too, but I like Insight Timer better.
Okay.
I hadn't
And
heard about it before we got on this call.
yeah, it's great.
Hmm.
I tell everyone. So I do a lot of meditation. I listen to my body and what it needs. I have founders on speed dial to call, and email and text. I have a really supportive family. And I think that's really the recipe. I think that's all you really need. So, plus you need funding, which we don't have. So that would be the next thing.
Okay.
But personally, like mentally, emotionally, I feel like over the years, I've figured out more and more what's worth getting upset over versus
Yeah,
what's not worth getting. And that just comes with age, I think, for anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I used to cry or be really distraught over is like inventory that was running late, and it was so like traumatic for me. But then
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, well, this is outside of my control. you know I take a step back and it doesn't affect me the way it used to. So I find that I kind of unlock new levels of emotional, I don't know, we usually call it like
maturity.
stability,
Oh,
maturity.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know. You
Yeah.
would call it something like that as I go along this founder journey.
That's great. I mean, because Tori and I were on a podcast last week talking a little bit about like corporate and like corporate
Mm.
burnout and stuff. And I think everyone is always like, I want to start my own business. I want to start my own brand, as if it's so easy. And it's just like, it'll take all their troubles away. But I think it's interesting to hear from you. Like, yeah, you started a brand. Yes, you're an entrepreneur and you work for yourself, but it comes with its own set of challenges and its own set of like mental health issues too. It's not all sunshine and what's the
Oh
phrase?
no.
Sunshine and
Sunshine and
rainbows.
rainbows.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you have to be I think you have to be a certain type of person that likes challenges. And that if
Mhm.
you're not in a challenging situation, you're unhappy. That's at least how I felt. Like I was
Right.
just not happy. I wasn't happy doing what I was doing every day because
And
I didn't feel as challenged. So I think everyone's different. Not everyone wants that. I know everyone's
yeah.
different. Not everyone wants that.
Yeah.
But personally, for me, I really get a lot of, I don't know what to say, like I get a really good feeling being in uncomfortable situations. It's an uncomfortable feeling, but I like it.
You feel fulfillment through the challenge?
I
Like you feel
feel
ignited that you are working, you feel aligned with your purpose.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll keep going until I
And
don't, until one day I wake up and I'm like, this doesn't do it for me anymore, and then I'll just find something else, I guess. But for now, I don't see that
you
happening.
have
Like
that
I feel
motivation.
really, yeah, feel motivated. It is really hard though. Like it is, but I don't want to discourage people from wanting to do it.
Yeah, so I actually twofold. I was going to say it sounds hard as an entrepreneur starting your own business because like Chanel and I, we have the definition of the working hours. It's 9 to 5 or 8 to 6, whatever your working hours are. And for us on the side, we're also working on the podcast, and that's like full time thinking. For you, your full time is your job. So it's like, how do you define those working hours for yourself? Do you have to know, like, okay, it's time for me to take a break and step aside because
Mm.
this is it for you. This is what you're doing as your job.
Yeah, it
And
would be
it's,
really easy to just work all day.
yeah, like how do you set up those boundaries that you take some time to take care of yourself and that wellness? And
Mm.
there's no right or wrong answer. So you could say like
No,
it's something I'm working on, whatever it is, but just would love to understand like how you're doing it.
I don't feel like I don't work late at night. I work pretty normal hours. Some like this week, yes, I was working late because it was a project and I had to get
Hmm.
it done by today. But normally, I pretty much keep it. I probably give 80% all the time.
That's
That's how I would
exhausting though. That can
that's
lead to
how,
burnout.
definitely. I use an app called Motion that helps me.
I've
Do
heard
you
of
use
it.
Motion? Yeah, it helps me organize priorities. So it helps me with my calendar, scheduling.
I think it's hard for us. We have those definitions, 9 to 5, whatever our working hours are. Our
Right, and you can
colleagues go
clock
home.
out
Yeah,
because
we
you're
can
working
clock
for someone
out.
else.
Right. For you, it's like you're working for you and your brand.
Yeah, I clock out.
You clock out. That's
I,
good. I like to
I,
hear
I don't
that.
have a problem with that.
no, I mean, I feel like I definitely have experienced burnout. I maybe on like a monthly basis call my
Hmm.
mom potentially in tears saying I don't want to do this anymore, but then it's like I forget about it and I'm fine. So maybe it's like I don't know, a
Have you
month, like
ever
part of my cycle, a monthly thing. I don't know, but
No, that's so true.
yeah,
Like,
totally.
do you feel that way? Like that's something you're like, I'm getting my period because I just like hate everything. I feel like I'm an
And I just
absolute
want to quit.
failure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it never ends up happening. I mean, it never gets that far and deep into it.
I would
But
love to see like a study of how our cycles affect women in the workplace. I'm sure it exists or
I
not.
don't know if it probably doesn't
Should we
exist.
do it?
Women's health has like no funding. It's so
I know.
underfunded, especially, yeah. I bet
She's
you it
like,
does
no
not
way the study
exist.
exists.
No.
So do you have like self-care that you do for yourself besides meditation? Like, is there anything else you
Oh
do
yeah.
that, oh,
Oh
tell
yeah.
us.
I
What are your
love
routines?
getting facials.
Ooh,
I mean, we're in the industry. Like I get,
yeah.
beauty industry. I love the beauty industry. I'll do all of the stuff. I love getting facials. I love getting massages. I work out very frequently. I take classes, which helps me feel like connected to other people in a room, kind of. Like I said, I meditate, big on that. Highly, highly recommend to everyone. listening and to you guys to do that every single day. It's actually a game changer. And I play with my dog.
You have a
I
dog?
like cooking. Yeah. So hang out with friends and family. So yeah, definitely I have a lot of self-care rituals. I have like mantras too. You got to have a song that you play. Someone said this to me one time. I did a program with Macy's, and
Cool.
I forget who it was, but someone there that was presenting said you need to have a song that when you're feeling low, you get up every morning and you sing it. I think mine changes. His was like, I get knocked down, but I get up.
Tub thumping. I love that song.
It's a good song.
Wait, what is your song? Or like, what are your few songs?
Oh man, I set myself up for this without an answer.
You really did.
I mean, I definitely listen to a lot of poppy stuff to keep going. So I don't know. Don't judge me on my
Swift.
music, but T Swift. I also play guitar, so like I'll go and that's another self-care thing. So I'll play but my guitar repertoire is basically just Taylor Swift because her songs are so easy to play.
They're so good.
They're so good. But yeah, Taylor Swift. I listen to Dave Matthews Band because that's just I've been listening to them for so many years. It's like a comforting music. I listen to classical music a lot too. That's like a very nice. There's this one classical song. I don't know the name of it. Don't ask me. But it's the kind of song that I put on repeat, and that does something to my brain and like totally is self-care. So
when I was in college and I used to that was not a sentence. When I had to write papers, I would put classical music on, and it just like did something for my mind, like you're saying, and I just was able to like creatively and just get it out.
Yeah, there's probably studies on that. I would say.
Yeah, there's studies on that, but not on women and their cycles in the workplace. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Oh, that's too funny.
So do you go into an office or do you work from home?
I would go crazy working from home. So I go into an office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that can help you set up boundaries then, like naturally.
True. You have to leave.
You have to leave your house.
I leave.
Yeah.
Right now I'm home, but
yeah.
It's
a Friday.
But yeah, I usually go into the office. So
there's your boundary. She has an office.
A physical boundary.
A physical boundary.
Those are good. That's important. Yeah. Great question. Yeah.
But you said you had mantras. Like I need you. Like what are you telling yourself?
Oh my goodness.
That's what we do.
Okay. You want my mantras? I'm not going to give them all away.
No, just
one.
Like your key one. I'll tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I say to myself, so to get like present, I'll just say, I honestly just say the word here.
Oh.
It's really simple. It's not like a fancy thing. Yeah. So I have words basically. So I say here, and I'll be like, sometimes I'll say you're here, or here. And that kind of brings me back to where I am. So that's
like
one. Yeah.
That's very calming.
Another one that I do is you can't do anything about this right now. So let it go. That's one I say all the time.
Can't do anything about this right now.
So let it go. There's nothing you can do to fix it right now. So stop thinking about it. Let it go. That is a really good one. That one works for me. I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like you got to meditate on that one. Like that's one that you need to sit with.
Okay.
You know, you gotta like for me to apply that, I need to let it marinate. I need to reflect on it. Like sometimes I do a meditation where it's like you repeat the same, saying. That's
like the affirmation meditations. I like those too.
Right. You can't do anything about this right now, so let it
And
go.
you can say it however you want, but basically the concept is you can't fix the problem in this moment.
Yeah.
So let it go and it will eventually resolve. All problems have these solutions,
A solution.
You guys know this. You're humans in world. I don't know why I'm telling you. I guess you asked me, but
we asked you.
Yeah, no, we wanted to know. Do you have one?
No, I don't have one.
Wow. You need to get one.
No, I don't have any. Yeah. I'm not like
she's just starting therapy again. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah.
Give me grace.
Yeah, no, Grace.
What's yours?
That's a good one.
Yeah. I was just saying it just now. Like, give me grace because I'm just starting therapy.
That's a good one, though. Okay. Give me grace.
But I like that
be
in
one.
general.
Give me grace. Like, that can just apply
just
down.
Give me grace.
Once you start on the meditation stuff with the insight timer and following, you're gonna have a lot. You're going to be like, oh, you're going to really resonate with certain ones.
The one time I did Insight Timer, because I was like this new person, I was going to be a meditator person. And then I did it once. I cried during it.
So that you're holding a lot then, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, she holds so much in.
I do. Anyway, this isn't my therapy session. I did that already.
No, but that's
What's
okay.
your mantra?
That's okay.
Mine is, in high school, we had to pick out our senior quotes, and this has kind of just stuck with me since senior year of high school. Mine is, do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never be. Keep in the sunlight.
Oh,
so,
I like that.
Yeah, it's a Benjamin Franklin quote.
Oh, nice.
I struggle with anxiety and depression, and it was undiagnosed in high school, but that resonated a lot with me. And it was always like, I felt like there are dark clouds, and I always look at glass half empty versus half full. So and I say that like when I'm just need to be in the sunlight, I'm like, okay, don't worry, just stay there.
Well, you give off a lot of sunlight. I'm feeling it.
Thank you. Yes. That's my sun sign. I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh.
What's your rising? Libra.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Alex, what's your sign?
Leo, and I'm married to a Sagittarius.
Oh, you are. You got a lot of fire going on over there.
I think we go well together, but I don't know too much. I just have the CoStar app. I'm not super
that's a
into
great
signs, but I like hearing about it.
Yeah. How does your partner handle being married to an entrepreneur?
Great question. That was a great question. No one's asked me that ever. No one.
Oh, wow.
I'm just looking at he was so helpful trying to get you set up
he's very helpful.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good things about Alan. I think he has his own full-time job. He has absolutely nothing to do with my business, but absolutely everything to do with my business. And what I mean by that is he doesn't know what I'm working on or really so much about like the details of things because I don't really care to talk about that with him, but he knows everything in terms of what I've been through and what it takes, and just emotionally very supportive person. But it is difficult. I mean, it's kind of just like both people in a relationship having a demanding job. His job's demanding, my job's demanding. It's like anyone else in the world that is in that dynamic. So,
yeah.
But
it sounds supportive.
It's supportive. We have to definitely say, okay, no work. Like we were talking about boundaries earlier. Like we definitely have those boundaries where we can say, okay, we're not talking about work anymore. So we do have to shut that off. I think that's for anyone though. Like you come home, start venting about what your boss said or this or that, and you kind of have to separate it.
And then your relationship kind of starts to become like work, and you're like, wait, no, this isn't about that. I tell that to Mitch all the time. Mitch loves his job. My partner, Mitch, absolutely loves it.
You don't hear that often. People who love
their
he
job. Does. I asked him once what I was like, Mitch, tell me more about your job. Because like, obviously I see him often. And he went off for like an hour. It was so cute.
Yeah, but it gets annoying when it's every night.
Now
and
I want to know, what is his job?
He works in medical sales. And
he loves his job, and he's in medical sales.
Yeah, he does sports medicine. He loves working with the doctors. He loves working with the clients. He loves sales. Like, I'm very happy for him. He was in a job that he didn't love before. It was in sales. It just wasn't the right industry. He liked the people, didn't like the work he was doing. And he was like, I want to go into medical sales. And I was like, okay, if that's what you want to do. And he just knew that was what he wanted to do. Kind of like with you with the starting your own business.
It's
and
a good feeling. Yeah.
He just loves it. And he's just so jazzed up when he gets home to talk about it. And I'm happy for him. Like, I'm happy. I want that for him, but I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't relate.
I'm like, I don't know these like doctor's terms, hip replacement materials. I just don't know.
It's sweet though.
It's very innocent.
It's so pure.
It's golden retriever energy for sure.
It is.
I love that. I'm going to use that golden retriever energy.
Go for it.
So good. Yeah.
That's what you need. Yeah. Oh, cool. I love it. We never got to talk about my waddle. Kind of.
Oh,
what's your waddle? What's wrong with your waddle?
My waddle is the hair on my neck that I've had since I was like a teenager.
We're going back to the forgotten hairs. Now we're in.
We are.
I thought it was your bikini line.
It was my bikini line, but also my waddle.
Okay,
and like,
tell us about your waddle.
It's a very sensitive topic
that
I've never
come up with that name.
I don't know. One of my friends I grew up with talked about like the hair underneath, like not the hair, sorry, the part underneath your neck where you're like where a male's Adam's apple is the wattle, and that's like on a turkey
Oh, right.
is the wattle, and I
Right.
call it.
You're like touching. You won't stop touching it.
I know I won't stop talking about it. It's this
That's
area.
Okay, so
right.
what about it?
I get hairs there that I have to pluck, and it's one of the forgotten
Right.
hair areas.
So many women get hairs
Oh.
on their. I get hairs on my neck. So many women
do?
especially if you have PCOS. It's like very common.
I've
Chin,
heard of that, and I don't know if I have PCOS.
Do you have any other symptoms?
No.
Okay, so you're probably okay. You probably just have some neck hair.
But it's
I
like,
know.
where does it come
Nothing-
from?
I don't. You can't ask me these questions.
Do you have any-
She's like,
I'm not a
"So,
doctor."
Not a doctor.
So the
I
reason
feel
I'm
like I have to
asking,
keep disclosing that over and over again because I don't.
It's
want to be
fine.
like, you're giving medical advice.
no, I tell people I'm not a therapist. I just have plenty of life experience.
Yes.
So
You are
what
almost like a therapist, but yeah.
thank you. I balance between like life coach, therapist, just like friend.
Yeah.
Just overall human who gives advice.
Yeah. Experienced person. That's what I'm going to start marketing myself as. I'm an experienced person.
I like that.
That's good.
Thank you.
Hire me. I'm experienced. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Plenty of experience. But the reason I'm talking about my waddle is like, what do you see next for forgotten skincare?
Do you see a
Do you
hair-
see a waddle
do you see a neck
skincare?
remover?
Actually, there are companies out there that have prescription. You can buy something for that to slow
For your
the hair
waddles.
growth on your
It's
waddles.
not bad.
Yeah.
You have to really
I
look at
pluck
it.
them. No, I pluck them.
Yeah,
They're
I
dark. They
don't-
come in like right here where the collarbone
Yeah.
is.
No, I understand.
And
yeah.
underneath
She's
here,
like, no, I get
and on the
it.
side
get
of
it.
where my
No,
sideburns.
Yeah.
She's like, please
I
stop.
know.
It's like, no, I got it the first time. Thank you.
No, it's
Just
good.
like, hey,
It's totally normal. Like I said, I have neck hair. People get it's
Yeah.
chin hair.
PCOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally normal. Your question was
What's next?
What's next?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's things I can talk about and things I can't talk about. What I can say
Like
is
when you have
that
things you can't talk about, that means it's good news. So that's
Yeah.
great.
I would say what's next is definitely more products. I have my eye on a lot of things. I have so many little sample bottles that I'm testing and handing out to people of different formulas to try. That's always really fun. That's like my favorite part is testing new products and
Yeah.
researching, and I love that. So I started it, and that's my favorite. The creative stuff. So new products, definitely new variations of existing products in a way,
Ooh.
and just more forgotten skincare everywhere. So
That's
yes.
like a pun, you know?
It's like a
Really?
Taylor Swift code.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but it's like
You gotta
forgotten
decode it.
everywhere. It's like
Yeah.
it's everywhere, but it's forgotten. It's like
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Right. Yeah.
Love this.
And, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So stay tuned for what's to come with Forgotten. I know that was really vague and cryptic, but
No,
No, it's okay.
That's
I have
exactly what
nothing
we
like
wanted.
specific to announce just yet. But
just exciting things on the horizon.
yes, and
Yeah.
we're also very always open to working with creative people on content, which I know you guys have offered to help us with too. So
Yeah.
I wanted to put that out there.
I love the name. By the way, I love the name of your.
It's
I love
so
it so
smart.
much. It's really just great. Really
I love it.
encompasses what the whole brand is
fun
about.
fact, it used to be called Pit Kit.
Oh, I like that too.
That was
Pit Kit.
cute. Pit
But
Kit.
if you want to expand into other areas,
didn't work. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why
we are now Forgotten Skincare.
Yeah.
Did you come up with the name or did you workshop it?
Workshopped it? I was talking about this the other day. I don't remember if I specifically came up with it. I was working with a consultant. Her name's Jamie. She's wonderful. And I quit my job. Then I was working to rebrand. And she and I were brainstorming Post-its everywhere, whiteboarding. And I actually have the picture of the room with forgotten places. It was forgotten places because like that's what we came up with. And it has like these squiggly things, kind of like these organic shapes, which fun fact, this wasn't even the original branding. It wasn't even these these organic fun shapes. And I guess subconsciously I came back to this and I found the picture that's what I had originally drawn. Like,
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
So
I love that. It's
Yeah.
like, it
It's
reminds me of when
serendipitous.
Chanel and I started the podcast. We had like 15 different names. We were constantly workshopping. It was like
Like 35 different names.
Chanel would wake up and I would just be like 25 missed texts from me, and it would just be like different names.
Between
Yeah.
us.
What was
Bittersweet.
like the next contender?
Well, we were for a bit candidly her.
Oh,
And it
I
was
like
too
that.
it was too much for some people. Like some people didn't
Okay.
get it.
It sounded like candy, and it
Yeah.
sounded a
Candidly
little,
her.
it was
It was
cute.
Glad we
too
talked is amazing. That
Thank you.
Thank you.
did you guys trademark it?
We will now.
We have it copyrighted. Yeah. And
I don't know.
Okay.
Tori does that.
yeah.
Get the trademark. Don't
working
make a
on
mistake
it.
like I did. I have the trademark
Oh.
now, but sheesh. It was
Yeah, it was a process.
journey.
No.
Well, okay, so what advice would you give people that are looking to start their own brand?
Well, there's the simple advice would be to just get started, which is what I did. I started by I bought a dehydrator and I was drying avocado pits. I went to Qdoba and I
Wow.
asked them for the leftovers from their guacamole. I said, "Hey, can I have
This is dirty.
your avocado
that.
pits from your guacamole?" I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely none.
And they gave them to you?
They said sure, but then I think I was like trying to formulate it myself and it kept going rancid because you can't mix oil and water. And so my piece of advice to founders would be to just start anywhere, even if it feels silly. And you just kind of you really just have to start somewhere. I mean, get a website, put a few $1,000s into it, and really make sure you know your vision. And even if you don't, it's okay. But just pretend. Like have a vision and just pretend that it's your North Star, they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then go for it. And if you have to pivot, that's normal and totally fine. All companies have pivoted and turned in from something that was completely irrelevant to what they are today. Not all companies, but a lot of companies have. So that's okay. So just start, have a vision, go all in. I'm not going to tell you to quit your job, but if you're making sales, quit your job and go all in.
I love that advice because one, that's kind of what we did. We were all in on Candidly Her, and then we just went for it. We did a photo shoot, like that was our name. And then at some point we were like, this doesn't feel right. And then we pivoted the name, but it got us started. It got us like to a point where we were like, okay, we have a name, so let's like move to the next step. Because if not, we would have been stuck on what's the name for like forever. And I don't know if you know this, but the Glow Recipe Girls have a very similar story. Like they started as something else. They started as kind of like an Amazon for Korean beauty. And they pivoted because they started selling their own products on their website, and they pivoted and now they're Glow Recipe. So it's like I love that piece of advice of just like, just do it, just go for it. And if you need to pivot, that's totally normal because so many people do it.
And there's so much room for growth. Like you're saying, like have a website, like we're still growing, and like you're like, okay, I have my base. Like you won't have that base if you don't start. So just starting is the right advice. And I love that you use the word silly. Earlier, I was actually thinking a lot of content creation is silly. Some of the things that we like is cringy and silly, but it's because people take risks and they put themselves out there. And something Chanel has said before from another influencer was like, don't be afraid to be seen. I think a lot of us are afraid to put ourselves out there, to be silly, to show that we're taking risks.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Even being on a podcast sometimes makes me feel that way. I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but maybe you're more used to it.
But I love the podcast.
You love it. But just being vulnerable.
I relate to you, yes.
Telling it how it is. And because it's great to be that way, though, because so many other people are the same and feel that way and want to hear someone else say this, that they can relate to. So.
But if you have something important to say or something important to bring to someone, like your skincare products, do it, because you're going to see it later and say, I should have done it. Right?
Definitely.
So either do it or wait.
Or watch someone else do it.
Or watch someone else do it. Yeah.
I hope that's motivating. So that's our mantra today. Do it or watch someone else do it.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, Alex, do you want to share the code and then share your social handles and where people can buy the products?
Sure. So I'll give everyone who's listening, all the amazing people out there, 20% off If you shop at
Cool.
forgottenskincare.com using the code GWT20, so that's for Glad We Talked. So GWT20. And you can shop us if you don't want to shop on our website. That's okay too. We're on Amazon, Macy's.com, UrbanOutfitters.com, and 13 Loon too.
Oh,
Shout
I
out to
love 13 Loon. And then you're on Instagram and TikTok?
Instagram is at Forgotten Skincare and TikTok is at Forgotten Skincare.
Thank you so much for coming on today. This was a great conversation, and thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks
thank
for
you so
having me,
much.
Tori and Chanel. It was so nice getting to do this with you, and I loved our chat.
Us too.
I'm so glad we talked.
I was just going to say
Glad
it. Glad we talked.
Yeah.
Love that.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.